coming to you from Kazan, Russia. Specifically what? The Russia Islamic World Kazan Summit 2018. Kazan this is where I'm going to include a map. Now you know where we're at. So we're, what is it? 1.5 hour east flight of Moscow.
Yeah, so basically, I came from London. London to Moscow is 4 hours by plane.
What time is sunrise here?
1:45 a.m. It's daylight at 4 a.m.
It was 3:30.
Yeah.
We were at a 24-hour McDonald's at 3:30 in the morning.
Duh.
It looked like London, New York City at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
3:30 a.m. Kazan, downtown, looks like 6 a.m. New York, London. It's crazy. Why are there people walking in the park? Why is there a guy getting dropped off by his friend at a bus station? Why is there already 4 people at the bus station? Why are there people chilling out, eating McDonald's food? Why is a guy riding a bike? Where is he going at 3:30 in the morning? It's crazy.
These and further questions will be answered by Mohammed Heraldez.
Crazy.
So, let me pull back. London to Moscow, 4 hours. Moscow to Kazan, capital of Tartarstan, which is within Russia, right? It has its own president. So, this is the Kazan Summit. It's the 10th Kazan Summit. So it's been going every year for 10 years. When it first started 10 years ago, there were 300 delegates. This year there were 3,000 delegates, 50 countries, 42 events. There was a host and welcoming address from the president of Tatarstan. He also read out a speech on behalf of the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, who couldn't make it because a couple of days ago was his coronation. So, just to kind of recap.
And who was the MC of the event?
MC! That'd be me.
Him. Professor John Wilson, PhD, was the MC.
The MC. So, it's been a journey for Tatarstan, right? Because they've effectively got 2 presidents. They've got their own president and Vladimir Putin.
Yeah.
What you might be interested to find out is that Russia is very keen with its 85 different regions, and I've forgotten how many time zones they run across, right? But effectively, one of the key points of the conference, and everyone's coming out of another session.
So we're going to speak louder so that we can
project. Was how does Russia work with the OIC? OIC is not some kind of West Coast team drama. It stands for the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. So effectively, Russia and cooperating Muslim countries are trying to bridge together the old Silk Route, right?
Yeah.
Find ways to talk about Islamic finance hand in hand, and also the main theme of this conference was halal lifestyle. So that kind of was in my ballpark, right? And that was interesting as well, because if you think about Kazan, it's roughly a 50-50 Orthodox Christianity and Islam, and then you had a 30-30-40, which is Orthodox Christianity, Islam, and other religions, shamanism,
but the
traditional religions.
Kremlin, the Kremlin is mainly comprised. It's the sites that get all the spotlight is the mosque.
What is a Kremlin?
The Kremlin is like the city center where it all started.
Yeah.
Right? You have the Kremlin in Moscow, you have the Kremlin here in Kazan, and there they have the cathedral where we did a vlog.
Yeah.
Where there is a mosque, I like the name Kul Sharif.
Kul Sharif
Mosque, which is there. And then you have like the pyramid, and it's a very beautiful, historical site. But anyways, we're here.
Your first time?
My first time in Russia, which is it's a real trip because of just the current administration in America, along with just Vladimir Putin, and it's interesting, right? Because of what has happened in the 90s and how they're now back on the stage, and this kind of nationalist, very proud. We were here for Victory Day, which was yesterday. So it's interesting for me as an American to be here.
Because you've grown up on Rambo movies. What Rocky was it with Ivan Drago?
Was it Rocky 4?
Rocky 4, was it? No, because Clubber Lang. You're going to get it wrong,
man.
right? Clubber Lang, Mr. T was 3,
Yeah.
I think.
Man, I forgot.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the big one, right?
Yeah.
The biggest one, the ones that Apollo Creed is big
Yeah.
when he's there. But like Ivan Drago is a big one, right? He's a machine. He's like,
Yeah. Was it Bridget Nielsen as well?
yeah, that was his wife. So,
yeah.
but we're here. You emceed it. This is my first time here. This is not your first time here to
So,
Russia.
last time I came to Russia was 1999. 99 I went to Kazakhstan. I've been to Kazakhstan in 2013. I've been to Azerbaijan a couple of times.
So Azerbaijan, they're all the stands: Uzbekistan, Tajikistan,
Dagestan,
Dagestan.
Chechnya,
These were all countries
Kyrgyzstan.
that were actually formed after the fall of Soviet Union,
Yeah,
the USSR.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you. You were the MC,
yeah,
dealing with the different cultures that were presented, that were on stage. Right?
Yeah.
We had Dubai. The CEO of Dubai Bank was there. Islamic Bank
Yeah.
was there.
So we had representation from the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, Deputy Prime Minister of Kazakhstan, President of Tajikistan, and from the Russian government as well.
Yeah.
Quite an interesting mix if you think about it. When we've been to Islamic economy conferences, you get like Dubai, UAE, you get Malaysia, you get Indonesia, you get Saudi Arabia. But now we saw this kind of Central Asia and Soviet.
And it's really cool to see the Africans when the Africans are present.
Yes. And we had voting as well. I mean, one of the things that, as a moderator, which was quite interesting, was I was able to do a kind of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style vote thing for the audience. And we had like 2 key votes. One of which was, okay, we know that in terms of halal meat and money, Islamic finance and halal food are kind of old news. They're established. But what's the next big thing?
Yeah.
Now,
that was a
obviously
good
we've only got a few thousand people and we don't know where they're from. Could be male, female, whatever it is. But I put forward things like healthcare, and medical tourism, traditional kind of like holiday tourism, modest fashion, cosmetics, and corporate social responsibility. Now, my gut would have said modest fashion would have got a lot of votes.
More than I thought. Yeah, I thought
it got under
more.
10%.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Halal tourism got the most votes.
Yeah.
And then CSR got the next rung of votes. And I think that says kind of very clearly that people want a kind of an ethical standpoint demonstrated through corporate and social responsibility within this halal ecosystem. Because people always talk about kind of, as I joke, like, how you kill an animal, but what do you do for society? How do you bring people on? How do you embed yourself with the community? And so we had a UNESCO attaché who was also talking about the importance of intercultural dialogue.
Yeah.
And also just talking about trust and patience and trying to and from Russia, from the Russian government, they were talking about trying to keep up to speed with the advancement of technology and also localization.